Hey everyone, it is Deb here, and coming at you this week in a much better place than I was last week. And I thought I needed to give you the whole truth, or the whole story. I kind of alluded to a lot of stuff last week and didn't really go into details, that my diet had been so off. But here, I can qualify this too, that if you're somebody with a sensitive brain chemistry, learn from my mistakes. Because I messed up my brain chemistry, not really realizing it, sort of aware that it could happen, but kind of in denial, I think, at the same time. And I'm realizing why VSG was not only a benefit to me for the weight loss, but it was a benefit to me for my brain chemistry because of the diet changes. Helped my brain chemistry settle down. So anyways, let me go back to where I think this all kind of started. I decided that I wanted to quit my job and just quit my part-time job and focus on full-time on the graphic design career that I sort of have, but have never really made a whole lot of income on, and decided that that was the direction I needed to go. Big change, let go of a part-time job I've had for like 15 years, so it was kind of a security blanket, but I'd had it with it. I was done with it. So I was excited, I was nervous, I was anxious, a bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of stress hit me all at once. And at that point, which was right at my 1 year, right around the end of July, beginning of August, I think that was when my weight sort of flatlined, because I really had been the same for basically all of June and July. My weight hadn't changed before then. And then when I hit the end of July, so my weight had actually kind of hit a stall when I was like 10, 11 months, somewhere in there. And it, really had stayed the same until the end of July. And then I went on a trip and let sugar back in. Had not gone down the road of letting sweets in my diet. There might have been a little sugar in the things I was eating, but as a whole, I was not eating high sugar foods. So my highest sugar food, I think, was probably like Special K cereal, which is, as sugar goes, pretty low in cereals, but maybe high in general. So, but I had, kind of maintained it pretty evenly. But I think over, like June and July, I was still logging my diet, but I was losing track a lot because I was distracted a lot. I wasn't able to focus all the time on everything. I think by the end of July, I just sort of got sick of logging and decided I was going on a trip that I couldn't maintain it. I just sort of let logging go for, most of the month of basically August and September, I think, and really didn't track everything. I think I did okay at first, and then, but on my trip I let in more sugar than I should have, because it did help with my anxiety. Sugar seems to calm me down, especially when it's combined with caffeine, because caffeine seems to have a calming effect on me versus a jazzing me up, waking me up effect. It doesn't wake me up. It kind of tends to calm me, or it does nothing at all. I've always had sort of a backwards brain chemistry when it came to that kind of thing. So I think I found, and then I discovered Nutella, which was bad news for me, because in 1 or 2 spoonfuls I got this huge sugar rush, along with probably the cocoa or whatever else is in there, that must be somewhat addictive, because it's like I needed more and more and more and more to feel calmer. And I was in such a survival mode, I just decided, I just got to get through the day. So I tried to focus on my protein first, but I stopped worrying about if it mattered if I had a spoonful of Nutella here and there. And then I would have a spoonful here or there and have 5 or 6 throughout the day, which is, Lord knows, probably 600 plus calories that I didn't normally have. So consequently, my weight went up. That added more anxiety. My daughter had an injury in gymnastics. That added a whole bunch of stress, a whole bunch of family stress with that one. It being her last season of gymnastics, and It's always a stressor anyways because there's such drama when they can't do stuff, and then it's heartbreaking to miss to go to meet. She's never not been able to compete at a meet. She's had injuries before that maybe she couldn't compete as well as she thought she could, but she ended up missing 2 entire meets because she just couldn't put weight on it, on an ankle that she basically bruised. She didn't break it ultimately. Ultimately discovered she didn't break it or tear anything, but she couldn't put weight on it, so she just couldn't do anything. And the first 2 meets she missed, and then she got to do bars in the 3rd meet, and over the weekend, this past weekend, she managed to do bars and beam. So hopefully, the only meets she has left are leagues, regionals, and state. Hopefully she'll be able to do everything for those by then. We'll see. But anyways, all of that kind of stressed me out. And then I think I even hit sort of a mourning kind of a phase where I think it was the whole senior mom thing. Combination of feeling like I was being cheated out of a few more meets that I really enjoyed watching, and I wasn't going to be able to watch. I was looking forward to that. It was kind of a closure for her ending gymnastics and stuff like that. So I think that was sort of, I could sort of feel myself becoming unraveled a little more and more and more. And I was kind of attributing it to the stress of changing the job, the stress of maybe the days getting shorter were adding to my depression. And I tried to, my antidepressant didn't work. And last week I had, after I was sure that she would only be able to do bars for the rest of the season, I was all bummed out. She was bummed out. I was trying not to show how sad I was because it wasn't going to help her. She was actually processing it and working through it and, handling it all probably better than me, seems like. And I just sort of, my depression just sort of took over. And last Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, into Thursday morning, all I could do was cry. It was like I was mourning somebody's death. I could not stop crying. I was just so sad. And by Thursday morning, it dawned on me, okay, this is more than just being disappointed about missing a few meets. That this had been building and building and building, and that it kind of dawned on me as I sat there and stared at this crazy jar of Nutella that I have had camped out at my desk like an idiot. And I looked at it and I was like, you know what? I think I've been having more and more and more of that, and it's been messing with me. So I started reading about sugar and depression and kind of reminded myself again how much that can mess with your metabolism and my brain chemistry. And decided at that point that I needed, after hitting bottom, it was like suddenly, I've been trying to detox myself off of sugar several times over the last couple of months. I mean, I've talked about it on here. Never could go more than 24 hours before I was like, oh, I can't stand it anymore. I don't care. And but this, I hit bottom so hard with my depression that it turned me around. And I read about sugar and I was like, okay, I can't go there anymore. So this Nutella, which was one of the things, there was a couple others like chocolatey things that were to blame as well. I decided that I needed to not go down that road, because not only was it messing with my brain chemistry, it was messing with my weight, because my weight had actually gone up over the last couple of weeks. My lowest point was 149, and I think that was like at the end of July, right before I went on my trip. And then I hovered right around 150, and then went up to 153, and then as of last week I was 156. So I'm going the wrong direction. And Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I've managed to cut all the Nutella out, all the sugar out, other than little bits here. And I think I had like let myself have a bowl of Special K, which I wasn't even having the Special K when I was addicted to the Nutella. But I'll confess, I think I was addicted to Nutella. Honest to God, I think I was. I think I have a brain addiction to it. So as of last Monday, I was 156.2. As of today, I'm 154.6. So at least I'm down 1.5 pounds from the week before, from last week. At least I'm going the right way. And every week before that, when I'd stepped on the scale, I had been going up a little bit every day. And that was sort of making me anxious too. So in a lot of ways, I'm in a better place. The downside is that the depression is better, but the anxiety is worse. So I know what to do to avoid the depression coming back. I don't know necessarily what to do yet to deal with the anxiety that drew me to eating too much sugar in the first place. So I need to find other ways. And I was trying, but I was, not succeeding in finding a way that really kind of helped with all of this stuff. And I'm hoping, because I've definitely been more irritable over the last couple of days. Part of that is because of kind of that sugar detox thing that makes me really irritable and makes me grumpy and crabby. And I hate who I am, but I don't hate who I am right now as much as I hated where I went last week. So that's what's keeping me going, and I'm hoping the headaches will go away and my irritability and the anxiety will calm back down again. So that's where I am this week. Thought I should give you guys the whole picture because I don't know if I was kind of vague last week and I really wasn't even sure what was going on. I think I have a much clearer idea now of why things are happening the way they are, and hopefully I'm back in control again. I feel like I am, but I don't want to sit there and say I am when it's only been 4 days. So, that's longer than I've been able to do the whole, cutting down the carbs. My carbs are still around 100, but I'm thinking they were a couple to 300 probably because of all the sugar I was eating. So they're a huge drop from where they were. And the carbs I'm getting now are just the carbs that's in, cottage cheese and yogurt and fruits. The only sugar I have is like apples, fruit. It seems like fruit sugar metabolizes differently than the processed sugar, refined sugar. And I can't get such a sugar rush. When I have it with apple, you have the fiber in there mixed, and that helps. I've been reading up a lot about sugar and depression, and I'll probably do another video about that maybe next week or something when I kind of totally understand this more. But the recommendation for sugar withdrawal and depression and all that stuff and getting off of the sugar and stuff is high protein, actually higher fats can have a antidepressing effect on the brain, I'm learning. So that's why things like peanut butter are helpful, even, regular fat cottage cheese, different kind of oils. Egg yolks actually have the kind of fat that is helpful to the brain because the brain is all fat and it kind of likes having more fats in the diet. So I don't know that super low fat is the way for me to go either, but definitely as low carb as I can get is the way to go. So more on that later. I'll cut this short since I seem to be going on and on about this, and just let you know that's where I'm at now. And hopefully I'll just keep going up and my scale will keep going down and I'll be back in control. Bye.